Hello, everybody. BeMetalways here. Welcome back to another edition of a new album release. Today we're talking about Stryper, Even the Devil Believes, released by Frontiers Music on September 4th, 2020. Let's give a quick background on the band. Stryper is a Southern California multi-platinum crossover Christian metal band. In 1883, they released their debut album, The Yellow and Black Attack. In the mid 80s, a bit later, Stryper enjoyed their most successful period, beginning with the release of To Hell with the Devil. Since returning from a 12-year hiatus that finished in 2003, Stryper has managed to frequently release new music, including Fallen in 2015, which was a good album that I really dug, and Goddamn Evil in 2018 that I didn't care too much for. The group's lineup consisted of original members Michael Sweet in lead vocals and guitar, Robert Sweet in drums, and Oz Fox guitar, plus the addition of the seasoned bassist Perry Richardson, formerly with Firehouse. Stryper is recognized as the first openly Christian heavy metal band to gain recognition in the mainstream music world. But that's mainly due to their lyric and themes, really, because if you wouldn't know English, you can't really tell. I mean, the music is pure glam rock, hard rock with a touch of power metal. Now, let's talk about Even the Devil Believes. Stryper returns with their 13th studio album. This 11-track project is filled with band's signature riffs, catchy melodies, and positive themes, of course. Michael Sweet, who has served as the band's primary songwriter since its inception in '83, also produced the album. It's only 47 minutes and it's easy to digest. The songs are relatively short and relatively simple structured. Musically, Even the Devil Believes reminds me a lot of late 90s, early 2000s in Malmsteen because that area, that a couple of albums with Mark Bowles on vocals sound a lot like this album, but of course with less virtuosity and more focus on the vocals and less crazy guitar solos and stuff. Stryper's music is very melodic hard rock. It's almost glam metal at times and it's loaded with high pitched vocals. The unpretentious but very effective guitar work is one of the highlights of this album for me. There are several cool heavy riffs in the album, and right from the start, the opening riff of Blood from Above is a clear example. Also, on the single Do Unto Others, it's the same thing. Both of those songs are very good ones with heaviness, speed, guitar work, and high energy. There's no lack of very tasty guitar solos throughout the album. The drums are locked well with the bass, and there are enough drum fills all over the album to keep things interesting. If you look at the title of the song and the song flow structure, For God and Rock and Roll has almost this feeling that is an homage to Kiss. But there's also some chugging guitar riffs in this song, but also in Divider, that actually made me think of Primal Fear, which was quite interesting to me. That means that Stryper can be borderline power metal at times, and those for me are their best moments when they go there to their heaviness, to that going almost into power metal from hard rock. Now, I must say, I was very skeptical when I saw the single from the song Make Love Great Again, but after a couple of listens, I must admit it's actually a cool hard rock song, despite the weird, title when you first listen to it. Now, if I talk production, yeah, it is okay. It's very clear and modern. I do love the guitar tone. It's very crunchy and dirty with this low tone I felt, and it sounds really cool. But unfortunately, apart from a couple of exceptions, the bass is mostly behind the mix and difficult to hear. Moreover, there were several lost opportunities to have a cool bass line. I mean, they have a new bass player that could offer much more. For example, in the title track and also in Forgotten Rock and Roll, there were moments that I was just waiting for that cool bass line more in front of the mix, and it never came. If you listen to Firehouse, the debut album, for example, you will see the difference because there Perry Richardson really does a good job on the bass and it shows on the mix. So hopefully Perry will be better utilized in the next album. All right, so that moment came to be a little bit picky on the album. Well, this is actually an easy album to be picky about. Of course, that the lyrics are cheesy and weird at times. For the most part, it didn't bother me too much, but this I Pray, which sounds like Gothard, and Middle Finger Messiah, and some other moments are difficult for me to really swallow. It's yeah, I usually don't get bothered by lyrics, but those are moments that kind of gets me down. The other classic problem with hard rock albums is the mandatory ballads. And there's at least one here, and when it comes, it gets really boring for me personally. How would I wrap up here? Even the Devil Believes first half is very strong, with a good sequence of 5 hard rock hits. But the second half is a hit and miss due to the ballads like This I Pray and some AOR influenced mellower tracks like Invitation Only or How to Fly. Of course, if hard rock and a bit of glam metal with high pitched vocals with a touch of power metal, it's not your thing, you're not gonna like Stryper at all. But for those who are into those genres of metal and rock, and on top of that, if you don't mind the cheesy lyrics, you can put your bee costume, and even the devil believes can be a lot of fun. At the end of the day, I'm giving this album 79 out of 100, which means that it is a good album, middle of the pack of a good album. Under the considerations above, it's worth checking. So thanks so much for listening, for being here. So please like, subscribe, share, help the channel, and be always.